Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of August, right through the end of September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on, because of course some people are here just for the reading, and I don't like to waste anyone's time. And with that in mind, let us start your reading, and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together. Also, please look up online what it means to be in a twin flame connection, because if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and it really will drain your wonderful love and waste your beautiful time, okay? So twin flames, of course, they are magnetic. They are all-consuming. When you meet your person, it is magnetic. You're drawn to them and they are drawn to you. You cannot stop thinking about them. It's almost obsessive on both sides, okay? Now, a false flame will actually trigger you, and even a karmic will actually trigger you without any evolution on either side, okay? That's how you know. So if you're growing from your experiences with the person that you're with, that's more likely to be a twin flame, because of course when you meet your twin, it is physically, emotionally very intense. As I said, it's all consuming, it's magnetic, and at first it is very physical and very romantic, but it's more of a process, a spiritual awakening. It's a rite of passage that occurs between two people, where the process prepares you in a single energy to release low vibrational energy that keeps you stuck in fear, addictive patterns, or unhealthy attachments. It's all about transformation of frequencies. It's a very, wow, it's a very intense inner vibrational journey, of course, and it is a personal journey of discovery that must be done alone. The job of the twin flame dynamic is to trigger each other, to amplify any wounds or anything that needs to be healed, anything that's being ignored. So if you've been hurt in the past, twin flames tend to have had a very turbulent journey, whether it's heartbreak, struggle, wounding. You know, these are all things that have occurred before you even meet your twin, and the job of the twin flame dynamic is to amplify these areas so both twins cannot ignore what needs to be looked at and healed, so they can be on their purpose path. Now, as I mentioned, the personal journey of discovery must be done alone. So there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now, this is not always typical to form, but it tends to be the norm. So the rite of passage is actually the separation period. there is a pause. Now, this pause can last for days, weeks, months, years, decades. I always say, do not wait for your twin, because you are navigating your own personal development path, and so is your twin. And sometimes there are stubborn twins who do not heal themselves, do not want to look at, the process, and they deny their feelings. Now, the twin flame dynamic is a mirrored experience. So what I mean by that is you and your person, you've had very similar journeys through life, maybe not exactly the same experiences, but there is a parallel between you both where you learn very similar lessons. Okay, so you may have crossover experiences. So when your twin looks at you, they're actually looking at all the things within themselves that they need to heal. Because remember, your job as a twin is to amplify all the things within the other person so that they look at the stuff, so they heal it. So the twin who is a runner tends to look in that mirror, they're looking at themselves, and they see all the things that they've been running away from their whole life. And they project their fears into the relationship. They deny their feelings or push their twin away because they cannot face aspects of self at that moment in time. Now, we can only meet each other as deeply as we have met ourselves. And the twin who is the chaser tends to have had a very deep spiritual process where they're willing to surrender to the union. They're aware that, of course, it is a very exposing relationship where you have to honor your feelings with authenticity, and it can make you feel very vulnerable. But the chaser tends to surrender to the union and open up to that level of love and the depth of unconditional love that's on offer. But of course, the twin who is the runner, they see all the stuff, they feel the energy, they feel the depth of love, and they feel overwhelmed by it. So they push back, they deny or reject their twin. It feels like a rejection, of course, so I'm sending you a huge hug out there, my beautiful Sagittarians. But this person is rejecting aspects of self because they're afraid to go to those places that love can lead. And if you have had a traumatic experience, hurt people have certain unhealed responses as their go-to protective measure. And often it is to withdraw, push away, or keep people at arm's length. So the twin flame dynamic, you must take accountability for actions. I'm not here to take anyone's side or offer excuses. I'm here to understand from both sides so I can understand an outcome, basically. But twin flames, their presence is to amplify areas in order to promote healing, personal development, and growth. And only when you discover your true life's purpose and mission and embrace unconditional love for self, because there often tends to be, an abandonment issue or self-loathing or trust issues, insecurities, all those things that can be present before you even meet your twin. When you heal those aspects and, find unconditional love for self, only then is the relationship sustainable when you come back into union. Now, not all twins come back into union. This is something that is true. But there are twin flame journeys that do come back into union. I want you to be aware of that, okay? You can cut a cord. There's only one twin flame dynamic. You can have a soulmate, but some people decide to cut a cord because it's too hard. It's a very challenging and often lonely experience during the separation period. But that separation period is there to serve a purpose, which is to help you understand yourself on a deeper level, connect you to your higher purpose, but also to prioritize your own needs, erect healthier boundaries, and really find value in yourself, okay? So that's on both sides. Now, some people do say, why don't twins just say how they feel? Well, twin flames, they often have had some sort of traumatic experience before they even meet their divine counterpart, and they find it hard to articulate their feelings from a healthy place. And I know that sounds really kind of like wishy-washy, but sometimes when a person has experienced a level of trauma, it triggers fearful emotions. So if someone has been left or heartbroken in a previous experience, that's their experience of love. And it can be that they fear that that'll happen again. So they don't want to miss out on the opportunity for unconditional love, but their fear prevents them from moving forward in some way, or they have an unhealed response that is triggered, and their ego goes out of its way to protect the heart from being hurt again, okay? Now, twin flames also have to do with our idea of what love really looks like. And this can extend back right to the very foundation of ourselves. You know, this can be back in childhood, what you witness as love, you know, whether it is turbulent energy, divorces, cheating, whether it is complete love and care and devotion. This is our first foundation of what it means to love. So it can influence people. As you go through life on your journey, you seek out very similar experiences because you're witnessing what love should be about. And sometimes people, you know, they seek out turbulent or toxic experiences because it makes them feel alive. That drama of a relationship is something that they gravitate towards to because it feels like that's what love should be, because that's something they witnessed. So there's a lot of dynamics to human behavior, and people are very complex. So I'm not here to judge. I'm here to try and understand at this moment in time. But it can be that we need to heal and move to the next level before we can actually, you know, offer love. We must love ourselves first. We cannot love another person unless we heal wounds and, you know, really process unhealthy behaviors, release them, and, you know, find a way to create a healthy environment for love to grow. So I feel that's the dynamic that twins actually navigate during this lifetime. I mean, there's so much more to it. I'm just giving you a bite-sized idea. I always describe twin flames like magnets. Both magnets identical in polarity because, of course, you and your twin, you share the same frequency, an identical frequency at your core because you're twins, okay? And, you know, if you think about two magnets that are charged in polarities exactly the same way, they have the same frequencies, they attract each other, but also they repel each other. There's always that space in between because the frequency is identical and they cannot quite attach to each other even though they want to. That space is on purpose. It is there to make sure the magnets change frequencies to come together in a union. Now, changing the frequency basically means the chaser, let's say that's the chaser magnet, you know, puts all that care, love, devotion, all that energy that it's giving out to go inwards to recharge or change the frequency within self. That's you stepping away to prioritize your own needs, focus on your life purpose and path, and also to affect change in your life in some way and embrace unconditional love for self. That changes the frequency. This helps you spiritually evolve. There's evolution there, but also ascending in frequencies. And then this magnet comes closer because now the frequency has changed. But it gives your person an opportunity to step up or step out of the union. They must change their vibrations as well. And then you can come together in a match. Not a game, an energetic exchange. Both parties must take accountability for actions because it is a learning process towards authenticity and truth. Okay, so with that in mind, your first card there is the Birds card. This is the LENORMAND deck, and it basically means you're feeling really restless. You know, you're feeling like in fight or flight mode. You feel that this relationship has, you know, basically made you feel very guarded. You've got the Seven of Wands there, but there's also this energy within you where you're questioning, have you come this far to only come this far? So I feel there's an energy here of you kind of like making so much effort in this connection. I mean, you love this person deep to the very core of you. You were committed to this person. I feel like, you know, you actually attract a lot of attention anyway, but this person was your person and you felt that you were going to be with this person forever, you know, because when you have the Birds, this can be like community. You either introduce this person to your friends, or you thought about it, or you thought about integrating them into your life in some way. And number 12 is the Hangman energy. So right now, I feel like you are removing yourself or you're pausing because, you know, I feel like it's almost like I'm being given this energy that you've come out of the fire in some way. You're removing yourself. I'm also being given, and this happened before I started doing your reading. I lit the candle. I have a process. I light the candle. I hold the match over the water and I look at visions, and then I put the match out in the water because that gives me a connection to your energy. And I kid you not, I've never seen anything like this ever happen in the water, which was I saw a small moon in the water, and then suddenly the match started going crazy. And then as I was actually putting the match out, normally there's a little bit of a smoke coming out, but there was this whirlwind of smoke. I mean, I really wish I was recording at that point because the little smoke that came off the match was like huge. It was like, whoo, it just swirled up. And then the moon in the water became huge. It was massive. Now, moons represent fears, shadow self, but there was this whirlwind energy around this moon. So I feel like your person is very turbulent in terms of their emotions. I feel there's a lot of fear, a lot of amplified energy, and I'm not surprised that your person got the mouse, which can indicate, you know, playing small in life or making themselves scarce because of fear, you know, and fear of being seen. I feel like you really see this person. I feel like you saw to the core of their soul. You got in too deep and this person couldn't handle it. That's what I'm feeling from your person's energy. We'll get to their energy in a moment. But, you know, the bird's energy indicates you're fed up. You know, you're wondering, is it time to leave? Is it time to, like, completely sever ties with this connection? Because, you know, the birds is all about nesting. It can be that you saw yourself living with this person, settling down with this person, but there's also an energy of freedom, independence, and you can have that in a relationship, but in your protagonist energy right now, you have a 3 of Cups and a 7 of Wands. Some of you are feeling like extra guarded. I've just noticed actually in this card, there's like a big old stream of smoke there as well. So you may feel, interesting, I'm being given Houdini, so you may feel that this person just disappeared, disappearing act, or you may feel that this person didn't quite give you the true version of them, but you could see it. I feel like they're scared to do that, but we'll tap into their energy in a moment. I mean, number 12 is Hangman energy, as I mentioned, which means you're putting an end to an old way of doing something. You're changing your approach. So I feel like you are guarded. I feel like you have stepped back. I feel like you're not giving to this. I mean, birds are about communication. So I feel like you have communicated with this person and maybe you didn't get the response that you expected or hoped for. But what I'm seeing here with that 12 is like you've put communication on hold. This is a time for inaction, to reflect, to take stock of things, to learn more about yourself. It feels like you're sacrificing the union in order to gain something new. Now, whether that is perspective or it is you erecting healthier boundaries to have more confidence in yourself, I feel like there's a new version of you now and you are not taking any more of the same old behavior. So number 7 at the bottom indicates that you are like overcoming an obstacle. I feel that this relationship was a challenge, okay? And interesting because I feel there was a lot of pressure in this connection. It felt very like intense and steamy and very dreamy as well. But at the same time, this person, it just feels like they suddenly changed. And you could feel it. And I feel they shut this down. I mean, they've even got the Chariot. So either there's a distance between you and this person, a physical distance, because we've got the world energy. For some of you, this person may have left the neighborhood or left the country or left in some way. There's an energy that this person like bolted, but this could be like emotionally, they withdrew, they shut down. And you try to communicate with this person, but I feel now you're restless, you can't do this anymore, so you're like super guarded. You know, 7 of Wands energy, there's a lot of 7s here. So 7s tend to be you at a crossroads, at a point where you are noticing what's going on. You're at a decision point in your life. So with that 7 of Wands energy, there's this energy of like not compromising your morals, you know, taking a step back because you have sustained effort in this connection. I feel like there was this moment where you felt passion and love could save the day. It was all consuming. However, it has not happened that way right now. So I feel like you're at that fork in the road where you're like, well, what do I do next? You know, 7 of Wands energy can be, there's a lot of pressure. You know, there's feelings of stress because you're like, I want to give up because I don't believe in this anymore, or it's not going any further. But then I also want to keep going because I've come so far, I've invested in this. So with the 3 of Cups there, for some of you, I mean, 3 of Cups can be that you shared a lot of yourself. You're a very guarded person. You don't let everybody in. You're normally very discerning about the company that you keep. But you may feel that you let this person in to your world as well, and you regret it. But I feel they're actually teaching you a lesson about communication. I feel there's a problem here with communication in this particular connection. And I'm being given the word insecurity. So this person, they feel like they're not enough or they cannot offer anything in a relationship. I feel like this person was also taught from a very young age about ambition. Be ambitious, get successful, forget about love. Love can come later. Even I feel this person got taught by a, well, I want to say patriarchal type figure, or someone who is a masculine influence in their life, work for love, marry for money. And this person was very confused about that message because they actually are a very sensitive person. They are deeply sensitive, and they didn't agree with that at first. But I feel perhaps this person has had an experience where they have been hurt in the past, and they realize actually maybe that message is true. Maybe they should just work for love and marry for money. Looking at the energy here, I feel like they haven't really followed that path either. Okay, I don't feel like they're following the footsteps of success towards lots of money at this time, but I do feel this energy of ambition within them. Okay, but I feel a lot of you're dealing with someone who's physically at a distance, or I definitely see emotionally at a distance because of their fears. They keep people at arm's length, okay? But the Three Cups, some of you, you're not talking to this person. This person in this card literally has a veil over the mouth, over the throat chakra as well. So I feel for some of you, you actually have a message or something you want to say to this person, but you're holding back, you're not doing it. It's like you're being really strict with yourself and saying, no, I'm not reaching out anymore. I'm not doing this. This person knows where I'm at. If they want to come towards me, then we'll see where we're at. But right now, you're not giving to this. I feel like you're fed up with this. I feel like you're thinking about your freedom, enjoying your single life, maybe focusing on your path, because Three of Cups is to celebrate yourself, focus on what brings you joy. A lot of you may be going out with friends or trying to connect with friends, discuss things. Your friends may have even said, protect yourself against this person because they feel like they are insecure, or they're not certain about their path. They're not giving to this connection right now. So protect yourself. And I feel that's exactly what you're doing with the Seven of Wands. Okay. Now, I feel like, of course, you have a lot of feelings for this person. Three of Cups gets often misunderstood in Tarot. People think because there's three people on the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot that it means cheating, or that there's a third party influence. Now, there could be an influence, and I'm picking up on a masculine figure giving this person some advice, your twin some advice that was based on their own hurt and experiences. They should never have given it to a very impressionable young person. That's what I'm seeing. But it was ingrained in this person because they looked up to them. So that's coming out there. But I do not see that this person is actually with another person. They're single. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing someone who's consumed by their fears and even paranoia that they're going to be left. So I will come into their energy in a moment. But the Three Cups means you have a lot of love for this person, and you offered unconditional love. You shared a part of your life with this person because a relationship was developing. And I feel that, you really lifted this person up, you celebrated them, and you fell in love with this person. This card represents union, but also there's a mistrust. And I'm not sure if it comes from your side or theirs, but I feel there may be mistrust going on at the core of this relationship for different reasons. So maybe you had an experience yourself regarding someone cheating or mistrust, or you witnessed something when you were younger. It feels like it's a seed of doubt, and it's definitely in your person's energy. So perhaps there's a crossover there, very different experiences, but the lesson being the same. Okay, but that Seven of Wands says you're not giving to this. There's an energy of self-defense, but also a defensiveness in this. And I feel right now there's also this energy of going in a different direction, like opposition, like, nope, not doing this anymore, fed up. This is not giving. So I feel like you're kind of like living life on your own terms now. Being independent, Seven of Wands is often in an independent energy. Doesn't mean that you're not curious about what this person is up to. Sometimes they're a little bit tempting is what I see there. But as it is, I feel like you're choosing healthier options or trying to. And you're just feeling like, should I stay? Should I go? This bird has the potential to leave this branch, spread the wings and fly. But this bird is on this branch and has not left the branch. So it can be that you're in the middle, the fork in the road, where you're like, should I stay? Should I go? Most importantly, it's not whether you should stay or whether you should go. It's more important that you think about celebrating yourself, choosing yourself in this situation, choosing your purpose path, redefining your boundaries or your barriers. You know, it's really important. Boundaries, healthy. Barriers, not so much. Because boundaries state, you know, a claim on what you feel is the right conduct in your life. And you teach people how to come towards you with boundaries. Barriers are like, stay away. Nothing gets through. Okay, so I feel like you may be redefining those within yourself. Now, your person, we have the mouse. Now, I am picking up on energy, and this is not going to resonate with everyone, but I'm getting a small percentage of some of your twins, whoever I'm picking up on right now, may have been dealing with an unwellness or someone who was unwell. They may have been a carer, okay, and they had a lot of responsibility, so they had to withdraw and sacrifice love. So I'm picking up a small energy on that, something to do with the family here. I feel like they think about you a lot. You got the Temperance card there, so you're showing up in your own reading because the Temperance card is a Sagittarius card there. And we got the Queen of Pentacles. So I would say matriarchal type figure, someone who is homebound, maybe even bedbound. For some of you, your twin was dealing with that. They're a carer, and they felt they could not give to a relationship because they had other duties or responsibilities. Now, that's not all of your twins, and I'm not here to give an excuse or a way out, but I feel like there are some twins, I feel it's about 6-7%, yeah, that have a twin who is dealing with some sort of responsibility. For some of you, it could be a responsibility connected to children. I'm not really sure on that, but it's a very convoluted energy, so I won't really pick up on that. It's so small, that one. But I feel this person, there is an energy of something coming to a closure or a close on that. So this person may be in grief, okay? So that's something that's coming through. With a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. But if you're a cross watcher, you know, it will be an ebb and flow of emotions. And of course, you'll take it day by day. And you must honor your emotions and come to a natural healing cycle and not force your emotions and not lose yourself in trying to avoid the grief or the emotions that you're trying to process. Because normally when we avoid something, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Just like that moon, it's like something, a fear that has been realized, and suddenly it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes like uncontrollable, and it will raise its ugly head in your life when it's most inconvenient. That's what tends to happen with twin flames, that whenever you avoid your feelings, you want to be with a person, but if you have like avoided some feelings for a long time from previous experiences, suddenly you feel really comfortable and loved in a relationship, and then the fears start to creep in, like what happened before could happen again, and you're like, no, I'm just going to put that to the side, put it to the side, and then it just becomes more amplified until it actually takes over and ruins the relationship. So that's coming out there as well. So just be mindful of that, and with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. For the majority of energy here, I have the mouse is an energy of fear, of course, and being scarce, being uncontactable. But it's number 23, fear of marriage, fear of relationships, long-term commitments, because the Chariot card, I feel this person either moved around a lot or there was a very unstable home life. Now, there's no excuses here. We are influenced by our past. It shapes who we are and how we feel about certain things. So it can be an influence, but I feel this person obviously will take accountability for their actions. I'm going to pull a card on the mouse to see what's going on there, because of course the mouse is like fear. It is fear of being seen. So this person is present. I feel they actually do occasionally pop into your social media if you have it to see what you're up to. But ultimately, this person, they dipped in and out of the connection, and you may feel that this person breadcrumbed you, and it did look like that on the surface. I got to be honest with what I'm seeing here, and there's no excuse for that. That's a very immature energy, but this person didn't feel like they were breadcrumbing you. What they felt was that every time they got close to you, you got too close, a little bit too close every time. So they just was like, whoa, stop. So I feel this person fearful of something. I just heard they're always on the run as well. They got the Chariot card, so that means they're always kind of like moving forward. When you're moving forward, super busy, like taking life in many different directions, it can be that they're running away from something or a challenge, and it's all about control because of root fear. So we have the King of Swords and the Ace of Wands. What a masculine figure said to this person: change their perspective on love. I mean, sometimes it can literally be that simple. And I hate to say that, but I mean, that's the energy I was picking up on. We've got a King of Swords energy, someone who was very cold. This person could have been a divorcee. I mean, this person could have also been a widower, okay? I'm not talking about your twin. I'm talking about the person who influenced your twin. This person was very detached from love. This person was very strict or rational about things, lacks compassion to a certain degree, very influential in your person's life, and very respected, but sometimes maybe even feared sometimes, said some cruel things. I don't want to say this person was bullied when they were younger. Your twin, I feel like, may have been bullied when they were younger, and that's why there's this energy of playing small. When you're about to get into an intimate relationship, especially if you have been bullied when you were younger, it can make you feel like you're not enough. Suddenly you're being intimate with the love of your life and you're thinking, oh my gosh, remember when I was bullied and they were saying that I was stupid or I was, not attractive, or, they were hating on me. These things can play in the back of the mind, the inner narrative where it strikes to try and tear you down. And you start to wonder, why is the love of my life really interested in me? I got nothing to offer. This could be an inner narrative, but I feel your person was influenced by somebody who said something really cold, like, love's not worth it. Love's, don't bother. Marry for money, not for love. So we have the King of Swords, which is a masculine figure articulating something from their own hurt and pain. And the Ace of Wands is a transformation card. It means it transformed how this person felt about connection, because Ace of Wands is a spark. It's chemistry. So it can be that this person always remembers that physicality, running away from intimacy, getting physical with you is something that they crave. But when it comes to emotions or getting in deep, because you got in deep, this person puts the brakes on immediately. And it is something that's so ingrained in this person that I feel like they don't even recognize that that is the thing that's in the way. So if you were to say to your person, for example, did someone once tell you that love was not worth it, that go after your career or money, and that love leaves or love is pain? Did anyone ever say that to you? They may be like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, this person said it once, and how'd you know that? And they may be like, oh, I didn't even equate one influencing the other. You may be like, well, maybe that's why you're running away from your feelings or love, because when you get in deep, you have that little whisper that's not even your narrative. It's someone else's that you absorbed, and now you believe it as truth because you respected that person and they taught you. King of Swords is a teacher, a mentor, and it's someone who has gone through something cold or is feeling bitter, for example, about something. And, they're an advisor. But they could cross over to being a dictator, as it were. Like, this is what I experienced. This is the hard knocks of life. This is what life and love is all about. And your person's like, oh my gosh, right, okay, I need to be looking out for that. So I feel there's this energy of fear based on that, okay? So that's something strongly coming out with your person. And I feel this person, they will eventually overcome that blockage, because this is how they're feeling about you right now. They feel a little bit of regret. They've made themselves scarce because they're fearful of making it right. How can they make it right? Right now they can't, looking at the energy, because you're closed off to this. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. Chariot card is an energy of movement forward. So I feel deep down this person wants to move forward, but the Chariot says this person's keeping a tight rein on their emotions and they're focused on their direction at this time. We've got the world energy. So this person may reach out and message you and tell you that they're either moving or that they are in a different country or that they're traveling. You know, there's something about this person. But also, I feel these two cards, because they are travel cards, this person, it's like no attachments. They want to be nomadic, or they are someone who's really focused on like not having attachments. That's something at the core of them right now, because the mouse is the presiding energy. But also, you know, the world energy indicates that they are stuck in two kind of mindsets. One is, this is over. The world card can be the end of an era. It's done. And they've made themselves scarce. But the Chariot card is like, well, maybe in the future, you know, things could move forward. I feel like they're determined to kind of like come back to your life sometimes, but then they're reminded and they shut it down. So this is to move forward, this is to shut it down. This is to start, this is to end. So I feel they're in this kind of gear shift in their life right now. They're not ready to offer you a stable, long-term relationship, one that is sustainable. In the future, I feel this is something that's a possibility, but right now you're at the fork in the road. And the World card can indicate this person is learning a lot of lessons about why they have no attachments, why they feel like they're on the go. What is it they're avoiding? It's the fear. So I feel like this person may actually pick it up and look at it, as it were. Interesting that the world here is golden. It says goodbye, yes, no, hello on the planchette. So yeah, this person is kind of like, should I stay? Should I go? Will Sagittarius take me back? Right now, they're aware that you probably wouldn't. They can feel that you've removed your energy. They can feel the connection has become a little bit more scarce. Energetically, they feel you, okay? But the outcome energy, we have the crossroads, the ways. This is the fork in the road. This is the decision point. And I feel both of you are making a decision on this separately. Remember, the separation period is a rite of passage. So this can be, things can go in either direction. And I feel that because we have the tree there, the tree is basically about planting roots. It's about coming home to self. It's about creating an environment where a relationship can grow. And as you can see, this field is being plowed right now. So you and your person, it's like you're being plowed. You know, you're planting seeds, healthier environment for something to grow. Whether it is with this person or not, you will in the future get a decision point. So divine intervention happens, like when I was the runner, because I was a runner in my twin flame dynamic at the very beginning. You know, I pushed my twin away. I didn't think I was doing that. I was just scared that they were going to hurt me because I'd been in a very damaging relationship before that. And I was like a shell of myself. I just did not want to get back into that cycle because I thought that person in the past, it was a karmic, broke me. Now I've experienced a love like no other. This person could destroy me. Those were my thoughts. So I was like, I need to stay away from that, right? So, you know, divine intervention happened, and several times in a city of millions of people, the universe had me bump into my twin in very unusual places. I was like, what is going on here? How can I be bumping into this person? There's got to be something other. The universe was saying, hey, you two, get it sorted, like get spun off onto your healing path. Focus on your sense of purpose. I was not connected to my sense of purpose at that time. I was drifting. I was seeking things that brought joy, that I really enjoyed. But at the same time, you know, it wasn't that there was no substance, because I always sought substance in my life. But I really felt, even though I was on a path, deep down, I felt this is really not the path I think I'm supposed to be taking, but this is a good path to be on right now until I figure it all out. I mean, we're all human. We're just figuring it out. And I feel even when we get to, you know, retirement age, we still haven't figured it out. I feel like we are constantly learning. We are the students of life, figuring things out. But this card can indicate that right now you're in a period where you are planting certain seeds, focusing on your sense of purpose, and you can grow together in the future. There can be a long-term commitment, but I feel both of you right now, it's about discovering, exploring, and you're on pause on purpose in order to focus on your true life's purpose, because the Temperance card is all about, you know, your sense of purpose, your mission, as it were. It is all about finding balance in your life. It's about blending. It's about healing. It's about recovery. And I feel like your person, there is a recovery energy here, but also this is about mediation. So it can be that in the future, you and your person, you could find a way through counseling to resolve some issues within self, especially your person, because they're showing up there as being very cautious about a relationship, and there's a core root of a wound there. But the Temperance card is about blending your experiences, coming back together, that synergy that, although you are whole all by yourself, you're connected, and you can be together in the future when you blend your experiences, focus on your purpose path, and also, have unconditional love for self. This can be the symmetry between you both. So mirroring each other, you amplify that which you lack in the relationship, that which you have in the relationship, and that which you need to heal in the relationship. And now you're spun off onto this path of healing. We have all those stars there arcing the crown chakra. So knowing the path to healing is what you're on right now. And I feel like you are focused on your true life's mission. And I also feel like your person is kind of getting there as well, because the Chariot card is to advance. It is to move forward. It is to move forward on their destiny. I feel like your person is very passionate about you. Do they think about you a lot? Yes. But every time they think about you, there's regret. The mouse in the Lenormand deck can be about regret, or feeling that, it's like this bravado, like their ego says, you know what? It happened. It is what it is. But beyond the ego, this person regrets and says, I influenced this situation. I made myself scarce. I'm running away from this, and I need to come back into alignment. Can I get closure on the past in order to learn the lesson and move forward? Because this is completing the lesson, and this is moving forward. In tandem, these two cards mean this person will make headway in the future, and you can find your way towards building a high-level commitment. Number 5 is the Hierophant. Knowledge will set you free, but also create a healthy environment for love to grow. This person can join your family lineage in the future, but it's a process. And I always say, do not wait for your twin. The universe will draw you back together when the moment is right. So breathe and focus on prioritizing your own needs. The Hierophant there, of course, is the marriage card. So I feel like in the future, and this is the distant future, I got to be honest with you, this is a long path right now. And as you can see, the rays of the sun are shining. So this is the path towards enlightenment, the path towards your destiny. And we have the Queen of Pentacles here. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is an energy of nesting, building a home. It's also an energy of grounding, being practical, focusing on finances, but also it's about being honest with yourself about the challenges before you and what you really want to invest in at this time. This is a card of conservation, protecting oneself in order to nurture a healthy environment, but also to wait for the one. So I want to pull a card on this because I feel like you've been very generous with your time, your energy. I feel, you just want to be in a relationship where you can grow with a person, where you can feel satisfied, there's reciprocity, where you can feel comfortable to be your true self. I feel like you've tried to help this person, but, the only person who can help this person is them. If you enable behavior, you will repeat a cycle. They need to find their way home to themselves by themselves so they can offer you the love that you truly deserve and desire. But let me just pull a card on this Queen of Pentacles. There's a snake on this card. As you can see, there's a cup presiding. So it can be that on the earthly plane, this is all about stability and need to feel secure. But in transforming, because the snake can represent once bitten, twice shy, or toxic behaviors or cycles of repeat. And I always say, do not get involved in any toxic cycles or repeats, because of course you will perpetuate that cycle. Protect yourself from those. But the cup is presiding. Love can save the day. And above that is a star. Healing must take place before we can truly have what we deserve and desire on the earthly plane. So let me just pull a quick card on this. Oh, this card came away from the deck. So let's see what this is. Queen of Cups, unconditional love. So, this can be like friends discussing things because you have a 3 of Cups there, but also it can be the Queen of Pentacles turning to the Queen of Cups, like, turning like a practical energy into unconditional love, or finding love for self and feeling secure. Security in a relationship is important, of course, but security in oneself is more important. We must learn that our happiness is not tied up within another. You must feel so secure within your life that if someone enters your life or leaves your life, you're fine all by yourself. And I feel that's where you're at right now. And I feel that is a measure of you being confident within yourself. And that's when you become more magnetic, knowing that you're loving yourself on a different level. And that whoever stays in your life deserves a place in your life as long as it's healthy interaction. But whoever leaves, I feel like you're not trying to control this or hold on to it. You're letting them leave because I feel like you don't want that drama. You're like removing yourself from those pressures. So let me just pull a card on that Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is communication. It is lifestyle changes. So I feel this is about finding security within self. Knight of Swords is literally lifestyle changes, but also it is, a different response. It's like you are responding differently this time to this situation. You're adapting a new way of thinking, of behaving, and that is changing the relationship. You stepping back is the catalyst for change for your person to come forward. If you think about a mouse, it peeps out from the little mouse hole, like, where's Sagittarius at? They're going to come looking for you in the future. There is going to be a message in the future, but I have to say it's a very long process and one that you must decide because it's your prerogative. You decide whether you want to connect to this or not. Looking at the energy right now, you're closed off to this. You just want to have fun. You want to find a relationship that you can build, that you can grow into, and you feel this person is not presented this at this time and you feel really unfulfilled and fed up with the way things have gone. So you're focused on changing your life, and I feel like your person is also changing their life, and there will be a point where you can kind of come back together and decide what is next. Okay? And also I feel that this relationship may have abruptly ended and there may have been some anger that had to be worked through there, but I also feel this is about bravery for your person, overcoming a fear in order to make those long-lasting changes to offer a long-term sustainable relationship. But I got to look at the energy right now. I feel like they're not quite there yet. And it is a process. I mean, that is a very long road right now. So I would say get busy living, do your thing, and intuitively feel your way through it. Does this person love you? The answer is yes. The World card showed up, which means this person thinks the world of you. And that you were everything that they ever wanted. But they're running away from fear. This card is literally, let me just put the deck down there. This card is literally fear. This is to run away from. And the World is an energy of learning a lesson, that they're running away from something and they need to go back to the root cause. Because if you think about the World, it is to be in a circular motion where you come back full circle towards something. So it's like identifying the root cause of the fear and trying to work through that to be able to move away from it, overcome it, conquer it in some way. So I feel this person will in the future, but yes, it is a process. I'm just using a deck where there are conversations left unsaid or anything that needs to be said that hasn't been, or something that needs to be looked at in the relationship that perhaps is not surfaced in this reading. My guides have asked me to go again, so I will. Oh, I'm just hearing a song right now. I see myself in black and white. It isn't fair. It isn't right. Oh, this is a very haunting song. Now, this song sounds so familiar to me. Like maybe it showed up in a reading like 3 or 4 years ago. I can't really be sure. I can't really remember who sings it either. So I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to think there. My guides are not giving me anything other than the song. Very haunting. It's feminine energy that sings it. It's kind of like a cappella right now. Can't remember who sings it. So, I mean, I'm just going to take the words at face value. You see yourself in black and white. So it can be that you feel like the effervescence of you has been drained in this connection. You feel like you're trying to see things from both sides of the story, but it isn't fair. You just feel like this just doesn't feel right now. So you're removing yourself from the equation. And maybe you feel a little bit like you're in the void right now with this. You have a lot of love. Those feelings don't go somewhere. So it feels really stagnant. So it can feel right now that you just feel like you're in a void. Oh, that card says, I don't understand myself right now. So that song, I mean, this could be the song that you hear before you actually get a message from your person. Knight of Swords tells me you will have a message from this person in your future, because I was clarifying the future energy. But this song may also, I'm going to have to look up this song when I leave this reading to see what the rest of the song is all about. But it kind of highlights those lyrics as like, it isn't fair. You can spend a whole lifetime searching for the love of your life, then you find that person and they're too scared to surrender to the union, or they haven't worked through the baggage and you're misaligned. But actually, the twin flame journey, it serves a purpose. It's a very functional relationship where you must spin off and focus on your calling, and you must love yourself first before you can love another. And both those things need to align. So I'm going to leave that there because that song just popped up. But the cards that you have finally are, I'm not the same person. And I feel this is you. You're not the same person. You're acting differently in this connection, which means you're going to get a different outcome in this connection. The cycle of repeat, it ends with you. You need to be the change in this relationship. And I feel you're aware that life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. So I feel like you're in that mode right now. I've also got, I don't understand myself right now. And I feel your person is trying to work out some things within themselves, because this is a narrative that was given by somebody else. And they kind of lived their life by it until they met you. And that made them feel a little bit different. But they're still very confused about all of that. Oh yeah, look, I'm so confused with my feelings. So that's coming out there as well. Okay. I'm not ready. Please have patience with me. I did mention I don't think this person is ready. I feel like you've given them so much patience, you know, but I feel this is part and parcel of the twin flame dynamic. I mean, I personally don't wish it was like this either. I didn't make the rules, but I'm here to understand what's going on within the parameters of the relationship. And I know that I was a runner and I've been very hurt, and I loved my person. I thought about them all the time. It was all consuming. There wasn't a waking moment where they were not on my mind. But I actually distanced myself because I just needed to get my life together. I needed to feel better about myself because I felt unlovable based on a previous experience where a person was like emotionally, physically, mentally abusive, and that was not twin flame. So I was broken by that experience. People are complex, especially people who've had an experience where they just don't believe they're worthy of love. And the mouse can indicate this person right now does not feel worthy. And they need to find that within themselves. But whether you're there when they're kind of like in alignment with the relationship, that's up to you. There will be a point in your future where you get to discuss that with them, and you watch actions and words matching, aligning, not just words, because anyone can say anything. They can say sorry a million times, but they can actually repeat a cycle, which means they're not sorry at all. Sorry comes with actions being changed and a conscious effort not to repeat a cycle. So we need a heart-to-heart talk. This person will talk to you for sure. You will get a message from this person, and they will tell you that they are either speaking to somebody or they are trying to understand something because they want to remain connected to you. And it's not that they're like dangling a carrot. I feel this person is going to have a heart-to-heart with you, and they're not going to try anything physical with you. It's not going to be flirtatious or anything. I feel this person is going to be really direct about what it is that they want. I mean, I feel like they're going to be fun flirty, but not like trying to get you into bed kind of energy. That's what I mean by that. So you may receive a message that's kind of like tongue-in-cheek or a little bit flirtatious, but it's not that they're trying to just, you know, be physical with you. I feel this person in the future really wants to tell you how they've been feeling or what they went through or what it is that they feel is a reason that got in the way of them committing to this relationship. And it is a process, and they're not ready right now. And at least they're acknowledging it, which means they can actually move from that position and take accountability. So I'll leave it there. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune. Okay, so we have the wheel. So this is about divine intervention. This is also about navigating and direction right now. So I feel like this is the ship. You're on the journey. You're in the rite of passage and you're navigating it. And that's the place you're at. And, you know, I wish it was that I could tie it up in a bow and say, you know what, they're going to connect to you next Tuesday. I mean, this is a general reading, so I can't actually get that specific on it. But I wish it was like next Tuesday, you're going to be together forever. It's going to be amazing. I wish I could tell you that. But it is a process, and I feel like you are navigating that rite of passage right now. The separation period is real. It has a purpose, and I feel like you can navigate towards each other in the future. But it is that process. It's about understanding the emotions. That is literally a ship wheel where you navigate the high seas, turbulent emotions, so that you can kind of understand or reach a destination point that is desired. And I do feel with the tree being there, you can come back towards each other. But as I said, it's a process. Right now, you're meant to be separate. So yeah, I will leave it there, my beautiful Sagittarians, and send you a huge hug out there, because I know those words are not of comfort, perhaps, but yeah, I can only give you what I see and what the cards mean. Always look up the meanings of the cards, because you'll know that I'm giving you the meanings of the cards, the energy that's coming out. I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading, hearing things as well. I'm clairaudient. But anyway, I will leave it there. This reading is for the next 6 weeks. So as I said, I don't feel like there's any movement going on there for the next 6 weeks, but you will hear from this person in your future. And also, if you'd like to be with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is get a candle emoji and put it in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to a candle emoji, then just write the word candle, and I will gravitate towards one subscriber, and I'll announce the winner at the end of September there. So you have ample opportunity to enter, whether it's once or multiple times. That's totally your call. And you have to be subscribed, because if you're not, I can't find your name. Okay, YouTube has changed an algorithm where I cannot find names that are not connected to my subscribers base. I'm not sure why that is, but it is what it is. So, you know, you have to subscribe to enter, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to find you. So I'll leave it there. And if you have a moment, listen to your favorite song, play it loud, play it proud, really connect to the vibrations. The world needs a lot of light right now. And that light within you is something that should be shining bright as much as possible. I know there's a lot of struggle out there and a lot of challenge right now. The pressure is on, but shine that light, connect to that vibration, listen to that song, and it will emanate out of you into the world and change the frequencies around you. So if you can, if you have a moment, play that song, play it loud and proud. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sagittarians, and love and light.